What I despise in modern apologetics, and followed up by the worst apologetical arguments. Recently, someone complained to me that I shouldn't teach a topic, meaning religion or the faith, until I learn how to properly pronounce the jargon and lingo associated with Catholic apologetics, those being theological terminology. In this case, I shouldn't share my faith until I learn how to speak Latin. I scoffed at this, and rightly so, though being rude to a new viewer might not be the best way to grow an audience. And I've been told by multiple sources that such a response is bad form in apologetics. Good thing I don't do apologetics on this channel. But instead of being rude, I could have given some context and explained to myself. I could have said to this person that I can't pronounce the word in question even if I wanted to, that I'm dyslexic, and that I was born with a horrible speech impediment, that the only reason why I sound the way that I do, having the accent and dialect that I do, living in a mostly Spanish-speaking town, is that I went through speech therapy with a speech pathologist from kindergarten until 4th grade. I could explain how even though I am well-read and I did study philosophy in college, I don't have any formal training in theology and have only read these terms in books and have rarely or almost never heard these terms spoken aloud with the correct pronunciation. Or I can go all search and destroy, get meta with him. I could say, well, if the only way to be saved, the only way to be truly Christian and follow Christ's command to share the good news, as well as fulfill the Catholic ideal of defending the faith, is to speak all religious-related words with the correct pronunciation, then we'd all be in trouble, as Jesus is not named Jesus, nor Noah, Noah, or Ishmael, Ishmael. How those are English pronunciations of Greek deviations, that the Spanish and French would have the same problem, as those would be from Latin deviations, while the language of the New Testament was Koine Greek, and the Old Testament was in Hebrew. But that even if we learned Latin, Greek, and Hebrew, we would still not have the right pronunciation for the time that they lived and of the names of the things mentioned in the Bible, as Jesus spoke Aramaic. And depending on what era or epoch a book in the Bible was supposed to have taken place, the people would have spoken Canaanite, Akkadian, or Old Egyptian. Or if we go really deep in the Bible, the time of Moses' exile, for example, the Hebrew and Semitic people spoke a Proto-Semitic language, something in between Canaanite and Hebrew. So we couldn't even be sure of the pronunciation of the name of anything or anyone in Exodus, let alone, let's say, Genesis. But I didn't do that in my response. Instead, I said this, and I will clean it up a bit just to keep it on topic. I said this: I can pronounce things however I want, and if it annoys people, all the better. This is not an apologetics channel, and in all honesty, I slightly despise apologetics, but I do love truth. So when a channel I watch and enjoy says something untrue about my faith, I have the right, and according to the Catechism, the duty to defend my faith. Then I added, also, this is literally, meaning the video that he was watching, this is literally a video saying to disregard the majority of professional apologetics, as most of those people are sophists and are in it for profit and career advancement. We should not care what one or another theologian says, that things like pronunciation don't save you. And when you get to heaven, God will not accept you or reject you based on those things, as they don't actually matter. What matters is God and your faith in him. And I am not trying to pick on this gentleman. I am also not doing these videos to show off how smart I am. My view count alone should show that I am not doing this for popularity or accolades. The truth is, I run into this when debating Muslim apologists. They will tell me, if it's not in the original language and pronounced exactly the correct way, then it's not the true Quran and therefore not from God. And this is not my only complaint about modern apologetics. I recently had a lively interaction on Mania's channel. I was on a panel with a bunch of atheists when someone sounding like a mythicist and an anti-theist tried to say that I didn't know what I was talking about because I couldn't give the catalog number to a specific ancient prime source material, such as a tablet or manuscript fragment. That is for their listing at the museum that they are housed at. I will say this, that yes, even when I read prime sources, I'm reading the translation. Even if I spend the extra money to buy the source book that has the original language or a picture of the original language on one side and the translation on the other side, I can only read English. But so what? I read it. I understood it. I listened to college lectures on it and hunted down the academic book or paper on it that cost way too much, and I still bought it. Ever paid $150 for a used scholarly work that costs $600 new? I have. But before I continue, let me answer one thing in case you still don't get what I'm saying here. Sometimes I mispronounce words on purpose. My audience is mostly American atheists that don't care about our Latin tradition or our in-house politics, or to know the difference between the correct or incorrect pronunciation of a single word in a relatively dead language. So let me clarify and be a little bit more gracious in my reply. First, let me say that I don't hate all apologetics. And second, that I'm not condemning apologetics as per the meaning of the word. Apologetics is simply a defense of or an argument for something, anything. And now on YouTube, that's all that we do here. But to paraphrase a famous apologist's catchphrase, apologetics is sales. And while evangelization and apologetics go hand in hand, therefore, if we are called and commanded to evangelize the world, we will need to partake in some apologetics by necessity. But what I have a distaste for is the profession of modern apologetics. That is the monetization of confidence and confirmation bias, as well as the turning of faith and morals into a transactional exchange. The want to know how to pray a powerful prayer, then pay me money approach to theology. But that is not to say those are my only complaints about apologetics. There are common arguments that are used in apologetics, both for and against certain ideas, that hold no weight for me. And I'm going to share those with you now. For me, the top 5 worst arguments in the realm of apologetics are: 1, the criteria of embarrassment; 2, the martyrdom proves truth claims, the martyrdom proves a truth claim; 3, the argument of complexity and for fine tuning; 4, the argument from morality; and 5,
Pascal's wager.
On the flip side, there are opposing and counter arguments that have never bothered me and that I've never been impressed by. So when atheists or skeptics or anti-theists throw these at me, I just roll my eyes. That's 1, the problem of evil; 2, the problem of suffering; 3, the occurrence or existence of randomness and chaos; 4, theology and philosophy are not proofs; 5, logic and reason alone are not substantive, i.e., not proof enough to convince me; and 6, this could all be a dream, or how do I know I'm not hallucinating, or what if I'm crazy, or what if you're crazy? All those arguments have never impressed me when it comes to counter arguments. Okay, let's finish this up. My point in stating these complaints is not to discount the claims of apologetics, but as a warning to the viewer not to overestimate the value of apologetic arguments and statements on their own. As I said earlier in this video, no one is going to get into or be rejected from heaven because they mispronounced a theological term. The important thing in faith is belief and the acceptance of grace. But let me say one more thing on this topic, that there are apologetics whom I do enjoy and I would recommend watching even if I disagree with them. And these apologists are Jimmy Aiken, James White, Shabir Ali, How to Be Christian, and Matt from 10 Minute Bible Hour, as well as Lizzie from Lizzie Answers. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video.